Good afternoon. It's Steph stuck in a truck, and I'm not in the truck. More to come about that. Well, here we are at a graveyard with a beautiful looking church. And we're in a little place that I haven't visited for 321 days. As a matter of fact, in a different truck. As a matter of fact, only 16 days after I got in the truck with that guy up there, nomadic hippie. And this day is going to be a day of significance, not just because it's been 321 days since I've been here in Swedesburg, Iowa. That's right, Swedesburg, Iowa. But there are exciting things afoot, more to come. So right here in Swedesburg, Iowa, there's a Swedish Museum. And the nomadic hippie's been trying to get into this place for quite some time. I don't know if today is the day. The hours state that it is so, but as we all know, things have changed a lot because of recent times. It does say Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but there's also an open sign, and I hear people talking inside. But here is the star of Swedesburg, in my opinion. Look at that guy! Isn't he beautiful? There are lots of pictures of him on the internet. It's called the Dala horse. It's the national symbol of Sweden, dedicated to the Swedish immigrant ancestors who settled in southeast Iowa, and to Sandra Harris, who has so generously supported Swedish Heritage Society. And I believe it was dedicated September 17th of 2014. But the Dala horse is amazing, and I love him. So I'm hoping I can find a little miniature version of him somewhere here to put in my RV. But I suspect this place might be closed. The hippie's about ready to break down the door to find out. All right, folks, check this out. They come in teensy, smaller than Chihuahua, all the way up to, well, obviously the one outside. But it says Dala horses are only Dala if they're made in Dalarna, Sweden. That is something I never would have guessed. Look at how amazing they are. All the way down to these tiny little sizes. They're all painted exactly the same. I love them. All right, folks, if you come into Swedesburg, you can buy gifts for all the Swedish people in your family, or the people that just wish they were Swedish. Look at that Dala horse. They've got all kinds of... Yes. They've got all kinds of great stuff. The gentleman here pointed out this, if you remember from your childhood like mine, you lit the candles and the horses would go around, or the reindeer would go around and ding the bells, powered by candle power. All of this stuff is very cool. Toll painting. There's tons of stuff in here to check out. Tons of stuff to buy for anyone Swedish in your life. But also just because it's nice looking stuff. It's cool. Look at these gift cards. Look at these candelabras. They're beautiful. I could picture those in my RV. These specialty dolls. Gnomes. It says the Swedish tomten are cherished folklore characters remembered for generations by children and their elders. Today they inhabit both farmsteads and city homes. So you're finding somewhere in Oahu that's not... There's food. There's this guy. I will show you a bigger version of this guy when we leave town. I have photos with him. Look at this little Dala horse. They've got books. They've got, I'm sure some of these are cookbooks. Yes, cookbooks. Stuff that's written by Scandinavians. Books about it. Books, fiction, factual, children's books. What a collection.
And this is the 30th year of the museum?
So the gentleman here said these trunks are all from people who came across to America.
So, this place here is somewhere.
And look at all these trunks. How heavy would that be full of your goods? That would be insanely heavy. There is a lithograph of the Swedish royal family. There is. Where is Rapunzel? Where is Rapunzel right now? There is a lot of history in here, and we were told that this is I think the 30th year celebration is this summer. And it's a pretty cool place. If you're coming through Iowa, as you know, besides Adventureland, there's not a lot of great things about Iowa besides if you love wind. If you love wind and cold, there's that. Or corn, obviously. But this place is very cool. More Dala horses. Each parish has its Own Dala horse. That's cool.
I don't know what NFC is.
Tap to pay.
What?
Tap to pay NFC.
Here are, look at this, for the kids. You got coloring pages.
Yeah, that little square.
Nice.
Does it
Corn. I told you guys, corn. Iowa, corn.
It's a very simple little thing.
Farming equipment, obviously. This is Iowa. And there's some cool artwork in here. Another spindle. Wow, look at this thing. It's old. They definitely have a lot of old artifacts in here. Look at those goggles. Those things are old. And I had one of those folding cups that you know, that's kind of like that kind of pops down to little and goes big. This here is called the Rick Schwartz exhibit, and these were designed by David Oscarsson, a Swedish designer, made from kiln-fired mixture of glass, water, and metal oxides. Look at how beautiful these pens are. It is hard to describe how beautiful they are. And I know you guys can't really see how fine they look, but they are very pretty. I am a fan of a nice pen. This cupboard is beautiful, and I love it. I do love antiques, especially antique furniture. And they do have quite a bit of it in here. Some dolls. I know some of you think they're probably haunted. They look pretty harmless to me, except for maybe this one. All right, this is called the Julbok, the straw Christmas goat from Norse mythology. Stands watch by the Christmas tree. I've wondered all this time what these guys are about. They're to watch your Christmas tree, make sure your cat stays out of it. And here is a library full of Swedish history. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of stuff in here. They've got a pretty good system here of cataloging all kinds of Swedish history, which is pretty cool if you consider that there's a lot of people don't know a lot about their history, and they don't necessarily know where their family's from. They've heard stories from older people in their family, or guessing, or they've seen their name, their surname included in things, but these guys have really got a lot of stuff set aside to show historical information about Swedish people and Swedesburg. And that's pretty cool. This is a really neat little room here. Look at this very cool bird cage. Some old crinolines. Some needlework. A very old Singer sewing machine. Look at that. Look at these boots. Whose feet have ever been that tiny? Not mine. I don't even think when I was like 5 my feet were that small. Got quite a collection of old sewing and craft supplies in here. Wow, this room is also full of all kinds of tools, things for the farm, and things you might find at your local store, possibly in Swedesburg back in the day. Of course, cigars and cigarettes, tobacco, bag balm. Bag balm's been around forever, right? Look at this old stove. All right, who remembers the catalog from Little House on the Prairie that Nels used to look through to find something that the Ingalls needed, especially when they won all that, or when they got all that money from Charles' uncle passing away? There's all these tabs for this huge catalog. Look at all these old cans, canned goods. It's making me hungry. I haven't eaten today yet. Hey, my mom has that, you guys. My mom has that tin. There are lots of cool old bottles, tins, things that many of you probably collect. I like collecting bottles. Look at this coffee setup. So the Huckster tradition, they used to deliver goods around town in a Huckster Wagon, and here is a nomadic hippie, but besides that, here is the wagon. Check this thing out. It is so cool. They would go around town delivering things like these goods to people in the community, and you know, trading goods back and forth and all of that. That is very cool that they have that right here in the building. It is very old and very cool. Folks, check it out. There's a narrow staircase that takes you up to, yeah, not at all. Takes you up to the room of the guy who rode the Huckster Wagon. And then here is his, oh my gosh, that is a tiny bathtub. And here is his lodging, which is actually probably pretty good size compared to what a lot of people lived with. But look at this old furniture. This is a beautiful piece right here. Anyone would be lucky to have that in their home. And more spindles. Beautiful bed. Yeah. It's very cool. Here are some little teacups with King Gustav, Queen Victoria, King Oscar, and Queen Sophia on them. Those look pretty old. They're pretty cool. And, of course, more of the Dala horses. They are so neat. This place is not tiny, but it is not huge, but it is full of history. Wow, 321 days. The weather was much better then. But we finally got inside, and as you saw, it's very cool in there, and the people are very nice. The gentleman that was helping discuss things with me and tell me a little bit about the history grew up in this town, and so he knew a little bit. He remembered stories from his childhood, which was very cool. And I can't say that I'll ever be back this way again. I might. Adventureland is up the road, and I love the monster. But it has been a pleasure seeing this place, and this was my very first roadside attraction in the truck. And so it's always going to be special to me. The Dollar Horse is always going to be special to me. And I'm glad I could share it with you guys. So this might be my last roadside attraction from the truck, you guys. Today is that day. It's RV day. And I'm sad, but I'm happy. But I'm sad because I spent 331 days in that truck. 331? 320? 336? I don't know. Something like that. It's been a long time. And, well, not that truck. That's the new truck. But with that hippie. And it's been quite a ride. Literally, it's been quite a ride. I've seen things I never would have seen if I stayed in Boise, Idaho. And I've done things I never would have done if I stayed in Boise, Idaho. And my life is going in a whole new direction than it ever would have gone if I would have stayed in Boise, Idaho. And that's a good thing for me. It may not be, it didn't start out good. If you've seen my my pinned video that's why I live in a truck, you know that it didn't really start out good. But it's been amazing, and mostly because I've been blessed with some of the best friends in the whole world. And I don't know how I got those, because I don't know that I deserve them, but I'm lucky enough to have them. So, from Swedesburg, Iowa, this might be my last roadside attraction from the truck. I'll still be stuck in a truck. I might just not be stuck in a tractor trailer truck. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've subscribed. I've got a lot more videos coming of a different nature, and probably a lot over the next few days. I've got quite the adventures planned getting my RV where I need it to be to continue on in this adventure that is my life now. So please subscribe, hit the little bell if you want to see all the things I'm doing on the way home. And thanks for being friends.